What is up, Earhnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are returning to the story of Shin Matsunaga. Last time Shin, Ral, and the Black Tri-Stars did a mock battle. Olga joined Shin and Ral's team. The mock battle was interrupted by a bombardment. The Federation is using a giant rail cannon similar to Zeon's Jotunheim. This is under command of a young Jamaicon and Paolo Cassius. The rivals focus their attention on the Feddies and work together. This time Shin faces off against his childhood friend. He gets reassigned to Solomon's defense forces, and the Federation begins testing the G-parts. So let's get into this. Toya feels that Shin is a part of this operation. The Zeon pilots look out at the debris field that was once Side 5. Gaia says, "We captured Revel during the battle, but someone had to go and ruin that." He's so bitter. Shin flashes back to several years prior, as tensions are getting high between Side 3 and the Feddies. Toya leaves. He thanks Shin for accepting him while he was here. They can't believe that war is inevitable. Toya says that humanity's desire to expand is endless. It won't stop with just the Earth sphere. War is just dressing for humanity's desire to expand. He seems to view human expansion as a cancer rather than some form of innovation. Toya tells Jamaicon and Paolo that the bombardment is pinning down their ground forces. He calls Jamaicon incompetent. Toya is going to lure out Zeon forces while Paolo and the fleet falls back behind the debris. The railgun is malfunctioning, and its programmed attack is on track to hit Von Braun City. Paolo tries to do a manual override when Zeon approaches. They can't get past their defenses. Toya heads out to fight in a saberfish. He and the Jabberwock squad move in on Shin. Ortega tells Shin that he is overextending. The Black Tri-Stars, as goofy as their characters are made out to be, actually know what they are talking about. They're professionals. Ral acknowledges this as well. They let Gaia call the shots. The team moves in to take down one of their Salamis-class ships. Shin is able to get a shot on the rail cannon. He then boards it thinking he would find Toya. Luckily, Toya is trying to regain controls when Shin points a gun at him. Toya is amazed he could get past their defenses. It actually was Toya that created the railgun. Jamaicon is just a commander, and a bitch one at that. Toya asks Shin to join him in helping stop this war. He says he doesn't have to defect, but he does have to leave Dozzle behind. He calls Shin Dozzle's puppet, but Shin says that his path is set. Before he could shoot him, one of the Black Tri-Stars attacks the railgun. Toya pushes Shin out of the way, and a chunk of debris pierces through him. Can we retire the pushing someone out of the way to make the ultimate sacrifice cliche? Back at Side 3, Aurelia experiences ominous rain. The railgun explodes. Paolo Cassius aborts the operation. It's up to the lunar forces to handle things now. On the lunar surface, Marcellus Spencer is a resistance fighter making moves with her team on Mari Imbrium's mass driver system. They learned of Toya's death. It appears he was about to start a revolution. Shin's White Zaku is saved. They bring it back to the hangar. Shin has Toya's body with him. He wants to give him a proper burial. Ramba Rao says, "Hey, go check out Shin's logs before he gets in trouble for whatever shady shit that was." Later, Shin meets with Makuve. He's impressed with Shin's actions with the Black Tri-Stars. The commander wishes to use him during the Earth landing operation, but he needs him for something else. He tells him of the United Maintenance Plan, also known as the Second Phase Production Plan, which created a standardization for mobile suit production. This included 3 main standards. 1. The standardization of hand manipulators to allow units to interchange weapons. 2. The standardization of parts between models of efficiency. And 3. The standardization of cockpits to increase training time. It was created in February but didn't get implemented for a few months. The United Maintenance Plan is mainly an excuse for the designers of War in the Pocket to make something new and fresh. He mentions that Elliot Rim's original designs have flaws in standardization. Remember, Elliot Rim oversaw the development of the original Zaku. We see this in the developer series, before the 1-year war. We also covered Elliot Rim's story during our Brave Heroes in the Sky coverage. He is still looking to gain support from Giran, if field operators like himself would provide his endorsement. This project might get off the ground. Essentially, Makuve wants Shin to go against Elliot Rim. He declines. Makuve then says, "Okay, it's going to be like that. How about you tell me about this Fedi soldier you brought on board Zeon's ship? Remember how you and Ral are already on shaky ground to begin with? Yeah, you're my bitch now." The incident with Ral and Shin that allowed Revel to get away definitely led to Makuve's bitterness, which prevented Ral from getting a goof in the main series, and thus getting him killed. In the hangar, Elliot Rim yells, "What do you mean Shin's battle data is gone? Like gone? Ral is the one who destroyed it. However, there will be engineers that still have it for research purposes." Makuve tells Lady Kycilia that Shin Matsunaga is so exhausting. He is loyal to a T. After a little convincing, Kycilia decides to fund Elliot Rim's old units, along with this new United Maintenance Plan. Gotta sell that GUNPLA. He can also begin his Earth operations. Meanwhile, the Black Tri-Stars buy Shin a drink. They started to become friendly with one another. Their collaboration ended up leading to the creation of the R-Type Zaku. Shin was also promoted and reassigned as commander of Solomon's defense forces. Well, what's all that blackmail if he's just gonna go back with Dozzle? July UC 0079. Lieutenant Burning and Chap of the Immortal Fourth are having a mock battle in the Zanny. The RRF-06 Zanny is one of the first mobile suits developed by the Federation. These are stolen Zaku 2s that they reverse engineered. These were extremely unreliable, suffered from a lack of budget, and had poor usability. They were mainly used to train pilots. Weapons include 60mm Vulcans, and a 120mm cannon that was used by the Ball. Alpha and Chap watch their comrades. If Monsha can't handle a Zanny, he won't be able to beat Zeon. As they watch the two fight, others talk about the rumors of the Federation's first true mobile suit almost being completed. In Jaburo, Tim Ray and the Science Division is ready to provide something on the level of the Zaku. Revel holds a briefing. Amongst the people in this briefing are Terry Sanders from the 8th MS team and Christina McKenzie from War in the Pocket. Revel shows off the new gun cannon. The gun cannon destroys a dummy Zaku with ease. The Immortal Fourth is there as well. Wait, weren't you just on Luna 2? This manga jumps around way too much. The pilots all try out the RX-77 simulator. Hope Galloway and Ernesto Garrod of the Jabberwock team also are a part of this group, and they too try out the simulator. Also added to the Jabberwock's roster is Marcella Spencer. She was Toya's comrade. They run the simulation and fight against a target moving at insane speeds. They realize this isn't a Zaku. They are fighting against the Gundam. Tim Ray is watching over the simulations. He was able to take data from Loom, the colony drop, and much more to create a mobile suit that can defeat Zeon's mobile suits. This of course leads to the mass-produced version and many variants such as Blue Destiny. Shin visits Dozzle and his new baby Mineva. The Jabberwock team is now testing out the new G parts, including the G Ignis, G Shrike, and G Atlas, which there is no data on. However, I assume this utilizes the prototype Core Fighter. The FF-X5 prototype Core Fighter is a fighter developed by Hervik that utilizes the new core block system. This has different wings from the FFX7 that will be used in the Gundam. It also utilizes the G-Fighter space type, which we saw in Johnny Raiden. They find it better than the Saberfish. Aurelia and her friends are en route to see Mineva's birth celebration. A distress beacon goes off in the distance. Olga is now on the Solomon Defense Force. She and Meyer launch and investigate. They spot the G-parts. Aurelia and her friends watch in the distance while some panic. Aurelia is confident that the defenders of Solomon will protect them. Two more Zakus move in. This is Karius and Enovel Gato. They are a part of the 302nd Patrol Squad, and they back up Meyer and Olga. Even during the one-year war, Gato is still a drama queen. Gato gets a hit on Ernesto. The Jabberwocks decide to fall back. Aurelia's friends fanboy out on Gato. Shin no longer launches and is by Dozzle's side most of the time. Kycelia and Degwin visit Solomon for Mineva. One of the little girls that Aurelia is talking to happens to be a young Haman Karn. She and her sister Marlene are both in attendance. Marlene takes Haman and Aurelia to the Royal Guard to visit Shin. He is happy they are here, but they are on high alert. There has been a 5-month time skip. I assume Shin hasn't visited Aurelia during this time. Ernesto is off the team while he recovers. He gets replaced by someone named Oscar Sigrid. Dr. Mas Khan visits the Jabberwock team. He is making adjustments on the G-Atlas and G-parts. He says that ultimately, the G-parts are just fighters with mobile suit reactors. He wants to do a test by modifying the actuators and playing around with this magnetic coating he has been working on. Aurelia and the Zeon Academy of Arts perform for Mineva's celebration. Kycelia goes to take a call from Granada. While gone, Degwin says he is proud of Dozzle for keeping the Zabi lineage going. He says that Giran and Kycelia suck and only care about themselves. They're not making him grandchildren, but Dozzle should have more children. Dude just wants to be a granddaddy. Degwin mentions that every Zabi sibling has a different mother. Nice, Degwin be banging. While the celebration is happening, Shin and Meyer learn about the G-parts. Shin wants to go out for the first time in a while. He passes by Gato, who gives him a hard time about going out to scout. You have to get permission from your CO. Gato's just a Karen. The Jabberwock team begins an attack on Zeon near Solomon. Shin and Meyer head out to scout, but so too does Gato and his guard team, because he is insufferable. Gato runs into the G-parts and begins their attack. The Jabberwock hides behind an asteroid and they sync up to do something in between what is the G-Fighter space type and the G-Fighter assault landing type. The cannon placement seems off to be the space type. Their speed is insanely increased. The G-Fighter is able to slice through Gato's Type R Zaku. And that will do it for this episode. This is an MSV manga, and with it comes obscure mobile weapons. But those new G-parts are very vague. Aurelia has put all her fate into Shin. Meanwhile, Shin does the same for Dozzle. and shows unwavering loyalty even when pushed to betray his friends. We still don't know Marcella Spencer's plan or what her true relationship to Toya is. Next time, they continue their fight with the G-Parts. Dozzle joins the battle in his custom Zaku, and we will see the appearance of a Stardust Memory captain. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, loyalty doesn't pay when the oligarchy takes advantage of your pride and goodwill. Peace.